Hi, this is Nick from Elite Outdoor Fitness. How to improve your hill training. If you're a fell runner, or if you just like walking over the hills or whatever. If you're into some of the stuff that we do and we train for in Elite Outdoor Fitness, and we've won all the main events out there, Paris 10, Commander Shuffle, Fan Dance, all the race series, and a number of other good fell runs as well, on team events, masters, male, female. We're in on it, and we've won them, and we've done very well in every single category. This is a good way to influence and help your training when you're starting to build elevation into training. Number one, you need to get your basic levels of fitness up to a good level so that you can start to introduce building leg strength and back strength and the energy needs that are taken for when you're starting to add load, uphill load, whether that's with weight or no weight, okay? You also need to look at the different categories, and there's loads of videos that I put out about this on how to start to build elevation. It's exactly the same as strength training. You don't start by doing jump squats. You don't start by doing sprints. You don't, when you're doing CV training, you wouldn't go out and start doing sprints straight off the back. You build a base and then you work on that base. So you're doing the zone 2 training, then you implement zone 3 training, then you add a little bit of zone 4 training, then you add zone 5 training. And then before you go and do your event, depending on whether you got 4, 6, 8 weeks, but depending on if you're advanced or not, you would then increase, because you've met all the other demands, you've got the mileage, you've got the weight, you've got the hills, you've got everything you need, you would then add VO2 max. It's exactly the same as when you add in elevation. Elevation is exactly the same. You start doing elevation at a low level, zone 2. And then zone 3, then zone 4, then zone 5. And then before your event, you start your VO2 max sessions, your lactate threshold sessions are essentially uphill, okay? How can you help yourself at the very beginning? We talked about strength training. When you implement strength training into a program, you reduce the CV a little bit for a few weeks. Then you can start getting a little bit of ground and getting some momentum going in your strength training. So you get the balance right, as you're just going to pile in and get injured. It's exactly the same when you're looking at building elevation. You can at the very beginning go, well, I want to start adding elevation. I built the strength training in there. I've been doing a little bit of CV. You reduce that down, or maybe just reduce the strength training down a little bit, okay? And maybe even start a deload week when you're on your CV training. And then you start adding in a little bit of bike and a little bit of rowing. A little bit of rowing, if you know how to do the technique correctly, so just YouTube it and have a look. And so essentially predominantly you're in the posterior chain, is essentially the same as kind of doing the bike. It's good for your energy systems, and it's also good for leg strength and good for endurance. If you go out and do a bike and you do a hearty bike, you'll come back, you'll want a bowl of cereal and an hour's sleep. That's the demanding structure that the cycling takes. Very similar to rowing. How do you start? Just implement it on a Friday on your rest day. You can then start doing an active rest day and doing like an 8-minute row, nice and gently, or an 8, 10, 15-minute cycle ride, and build that up nice and gently. Thanks for listening.